In the meantime, Kamala Harris has actually put out some policy, but typically of the left, it's a massive spending initiative, vote-buying initiative, one that's not going to be great for inflation and debt in the US. And it includes something that's pretty familiar to Australians when it comes to left-wing governments. This attempt to try and tackle inflation by new laws to control grocery prices. Have a look at what Harris had to say.
I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food. My plan will include new penalties for opportunistic companies that exploit crises and break the rules.
Well, Kristen, she said price gauging. I think she meant price gouging, but this sort of stuff doesn't work. It's been tried all around the world, right? It's just leftist interference.
Yeah, this is such a boneheaded idea, as if some bureaucrats sitting in an office in Washington, D.C. are going to know what a carton of eggs or a gallon of milk should cost in Oklahoma. I mean, this is just, this is left-wing nonsense. And if actually implemented, her economic ideas would be a disaster for this country, would drive us further into debt. It would rise inflation significantly. But should any of this surprise us? No, it should not. Let's not forget, Kamala Harris is a hardcore left-winger. In 2019, she was the most left-wing senator in this country, more left-wing than Bernie Sanders. I mean, this was how she distinguished herself in the Senate. And then she chose a VP who's also a big left-winger. Waltz was in Minnesota. He was at the helm when he let the George Floyd rioters burn down his state and cities with impunity for months. It was a complete disaster, as was his entire time as governor. So should we be surprised that she's rolling out these plans, which, by the way, she has no plans for how to pay for any of this? Should we be surprised? Absolutely not.
She actually says it all pays for itself. She keeps saying all this stuff pays for itself in the end. But it's so bad, this grocery watch plan, for whatever she wants to call it, it's so bad that even the liberal left on CNN are calling it out. Have a look.
We've seen this kind of thing tried in lots of other countries before: Venezuela, Argentina, the Soviet Union, etc. It leads to shortages. It leads to black markets. Plenty of uncertainty.
Venezuela and the Soviet Union and all the rest of it, and that's coming from CNN, so you won't be surprised, of course, that Donald Trump went in hard. Have a look.
Kamala went full communist. You heard that? She went full communist. She wants to destroy our country. After causing catastrophic inflation, Comrade Kamala announced that she wants to institute socialist price controls. You saw that. Never worked before. Never, ever worked.
Fair enough. Full-on communism, according to the Donald. But, Kristen, here's the point, isn't it? You mentioned how Donald Trump's being ignored by the Democrats. It's not about attacking him anymore. But if he can have a debate about policy and the direction of government with Kamala Harris, that's going to strengthen his arm, isn't it, if he can just get the public engaged in that?
That's exactly what Trump needs to do. He needs to remain measured and basically point out exactly what the Democrats have done to destroy this country in every single way, and just point at them and remind Americans of how life in this country has gotten worse in every measurable way with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden at the helm. And the Democrats are going to try to make this all about personality. They're opening up the DNC with a party hosted by RuPaul's drag show. Then the next day, Michelle Obama and Barack Obama are going to speak. Of course, Joe Biden, who the press all loves again now that he's stepped aside, he'll be there as well. So this is what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to make Kamala Harris into a celebrity, from a dud to a celebrity. Don't remember how she was 4 years ago. Get that out of your mind and believe what we're telling you now. And voters need to smarten up and use their brains and think about the policies that have absolutely destroyed our pocketbooks, have opened this border to millions of migrants that have flooded this country, destroyed our schools, our hospitals are at their breaking points. So yes, that's exactly what Trump needs to do. Focus on policy.
I'm looking forward to Kamala Harris's speech, because I'm hoping she might say that we need to think about what we can be, unburdened by what we have been.
Yes, more deep thoughts from Kamala Harris are coming, I'm sure.
Great to talk to you again, Kristen. We'll catch up next week.